Hey guys, welcome back to Chapter 2 Fractions. Today we are looking at the second half of exercise 2b, equivalent fractions. Did you see what I did there? Put a little fraction in there. Alright, so remember from our previous lesson on the first half of exercise 2b that equivalent fractions have the same numerical value, okay? So 1/2 was the same as 2/4, and that's the same as 3/6, blah, 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 okay? We can keep going. Today we're going to look at simplifying fractions. So whenever we give answers in fractions, we want to make the numerator and the denominator, so both of them, as small as possible. Remember that whatever we do to the top number, the numerator, we must do to the bottom, and that's what we'll be practicing today. On the screen is an actual pizza this time. You don't have to deal with my drawings of them. You'll see here that the pizza on this side, I think it's a seafood pizza? I don't know. It looks like a seafood pizza. I think there is some shrimpies on that. There are 5 slices here, and there are 5 slices on this side. They're different pizzas, cut into the same slices, and it is in halves, okay? So we've got 2 different halves of the pizza, okay? They're both equivalent to a half, so it doesn't matter. I could have cut this side into 2 big pieces if I'd really wanted, because at the end of the day, half the pizza is this and half the pizza is this. Let's take the pepperoni side and chop it up into 4. Whoa, that was tricky. So now I've sliced the pizza up differently, but it's still equivalent to 1/2. Okay, writing 4/8 or 5/10, okay, which is what I had originally, was 5/10 of the pizza. On the screen is an actual pizza, so you don't have to deal with my attempt at drawing a pizza with no toppings today. You will notice that each side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, is broken up into 5 pieces. Okay, so 5 out of 10 of the slices. I think it is a seafood pizza. Gross. And 5/10 of the pizza, or 5 slices out of 10, are pepperoni. More simply though, that's half and half, okay? So if I went to the pizza shop, I would literally say, can I get a half and half pizza? And that would be what I'm ordering. And then just however many slices they choose to cut each side up into is what they'll do, okay? So the equivalent and most simple fraction in this case, 5/10, is 1/2. If I divide 5 by 5 and 10 by 5, I'll get 5 divided by 5 is 1 and 10 divided by 5 is 2. And that's how we get our simplest fractions. So here, and this is my last little point before we jump into our examples, the number 5, if we recall from chapter 1, is our highest common factor. So it's the largest number that goes into both 5 and 10. Let's give it a shot with just numbers now. We're going to simplify each of the following fractions. You can of course use a couple steps to do this if you need them. I will do it in one step to help you visualize. Alright, or not visualize, but sort of follow along as simply as I can have you follow along, and as a few steps. Okay, so we're going to simplify 3 different fractions. The first of them is 16/28, or 16 out of 28, or 16 over 28. There's a few different ways that you can read it. The highest common factor of 16 and 28 is 4. Okay. It's okay if you weren't sure of that. You could break it into 2, so halve it and then halve it again if you needed to. So 16 divided by 4 is 4, and 28 divided by 4, so 28 in groups of 4 is 7. We know we've got the simplest fraction when one of those, either the numerator or the denominator, is prime, and here we've got 7 is a prime number, if we recall that from last week. Okay, so 7 is prime, and therefore we don't have to simplify the fraction any further. Okay, So 16/28 is equivalent to 4/7, with 4/7 being the most simple or the simplest form of that fraction. On the screen now we have 18 out of 3, or 18/3. Again, we're going to find the highest common factor. And I'm going to make a little note of that here for you so that you know that green is my highest common factor. Well, the highest common factor of 3 and 18 is 3, isn't it? So 18 divided by 3 is 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18. So 6 and 3 divided by 3. Well, if I want to make, if I've got 3 pens and I give 3 of them to someone, how many people can I give 3 pens to? Just 1, which is the same as just saying 6 wholes, because 6 divided by 1, or 6 whole, okay, is just 6. So we can get rid of the denominator here. And we've got a whole number, so we don't need to simplify it any further. One last example now. Oh, this is a bit tricky. When you have a mixed number, we're not going to touch the number at the front. So we're going to keep the 2. We're not doing anything with the whole part. That's going to stay the same. We will, however, change the fraction bit. So the highest common factor of 32 and 6, have a think about it, is 2, okay? 32 divided by 2 is 16, and 6 divided by 2 is 3. There is, however, one more step here. It's very, very messy to have an improper fraction and a whole number in our mixed number. So we're going to convert this bit to a mixed number. And this is probably the hardest example I could have given you, but that's okay. So let's think, if I've got 16 things, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. All right, so I've got 16 circles on the screen. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. How many groups of 3 can I make? Because this is the same as saying 16 divided by 3. I can make 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so I'm going to convert, and I've got 1 left over. So I've got 2 and 5, because there were 5 of them, with 1 remainder. 1 remainder. So everything comes back to what we learned in that first chapter at the beginning of the year. The 1 remainder goes at the top, and we keep the denominator as a 3. We don't change the denominator. Our last step is to combine these 2 bits. So we're going to combine these 2 now. 2 plus 5 is 7, and 1/3. Okay, so that's probably the hardest example I could have given you. Of course, you could have found 32 out of 6 as a whole number. You would have had still 5 and 2/6, and then simplified the 2/6 component. I like to simplify it first so that if I need to draw it out for any reason, like I have here, okay, I don't have to draw as many circles. I've already kind of simplified and made the problem a little bit quicker for me now. But that is all for today's lesson. As always, if you have any questions, let me know and I'll respond as soon as I can. But otherwise, good luck with the work, guys, and I'll speak to you all very soon.